concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Football game days are fun for the whole family, but not every child is ready for 4 quarters in the stadium. That's why the Lincoln Children's Museum offers game day play dates for kids ages 5 to 12. While you enjoy the game, your kids enjoy their own adventure at the museum, conveniently located just steps from the stadium. Registration required. And the fun isn't just on game days. The museum is open 6 days a week with 3 floors of hands-on play and activities. Out-of-town families, make the most of your weekend in Lincoln. Visit lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
The Nebraska Lottery announces a great new lotto game for our state, Nebraska Pick 4. What's so great about it? Well, it costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize. There are drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. If you like Nebraska Pick 3, you're going to love Nebraska Pick 4. So stop into your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. It's the game you've been waiting for. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the 2nd season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley, defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
All right, welcome all to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket, September the 22nd, 2015. We're going to give you a recap of the Michigan game, some other games, and We lost, Bob.
Yeah, that's right.
We lost. Was it a great feeling? We got exposed on the offensive line. We got exposed for not being able to tackle some of the same problems we done had the last 6-7 years, not just 3 years. I just count Matt Rule tenure, just before that and things like that. Great to see over 60 to 70 guys from the 95 team. Bock, they all came in town last weekend. We had a great time. Some of them are old, ugly, and hairy. None of them look like me. So,
you're the best looking one.
Oh yeah, I'm the most athletic one. The most who still look the same.
Yeah.
Some of them got big guts. Some of them got hairy faces, and some of them got big guts and hairy faces. So,
who's the closest? Who also looks pretty young? Anybody in there?
Probably Clester.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Reggie Ball, he looks good.
Okay.
Riley Washington.
Yeah, Riley always looks
good.
good.
Yeah, little skinny guys. Adam True, he looked it pretty good. Aaron Graham, Aaron Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of the guys look good.
Some of the guys still staying in shape.
Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, Tony Veland.
Tony Veland, yeah.
Yeah.
Looking
Him
good.
too. Yeah, look good. All the guys look good.
Yeah.
But they just old.
You don't want to leave anybody out, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to leave anybody out. Great to see those guys. They had a great reception for us Friday. Did do the walkthrough on the field Saturday. Last person, did you see who was the last person to come out the tunnel or run out the tunnel Saturday?
I did not.
He's late as always. His name is Rashawn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So he was the last one to run out looking crazy. No, probably thought he knew what he was doing, but yeah, we had a great time, Bach. Great to see those guys. Some guys probably haven't seen in 30 years. You know, some guys I've seen probably 5 years ago. But, you know, the good thing is, man, that they all in good health, and great to see old teammates to come together like this and watch University.
What was the experience? I mean, give us the full 95 team reunion. I mean, I know you had something Friday night. What was kind of the game day festivities?
Game day, we just met up. We met up in the at Players Lounge. Then we went down to the tunnel. Then we walked out the tunnel, and then it was okay. You know, it probably could have been a little better wise. But can't complain.
Well, yeah, I mean, we talked about it all week. Was Bud Crawford going to lead you out of the tunnle? And we had a disagreement on it.
We're not worried about that part of it.
I know.
You know, it's just the part that I thought they could have did it better in some other parts of the festivities, but it's okay though.
Yeah.
You know, get to watch a great game.
Oh, yeah.
Great game. Just we let ourselves down, shoot ourselves in the foot as always, but we'll talk about that a little later though.
Yeah. We'll get to the game here. And if the game has got you down, we got a little pick-me-up for you. It's time for the Cash Blitz $1,000 cash contest keyword here. Text it. The word that we give you here to 508-777-1000. There's a chance to win $1,000. Head to the website, click on Cash Blitz to enter. You can do that, or you can text 508-777-1000. All you have to do is text in this word that I'm going to give you. I'll give you a second to pull out your phone or open the site. Again, the site. Click on the Cash Blitz to enter the website here. 508-777-1000. All right, today's keyword is game. That's spelled G-A-M-E, game. Remember, every keyword you enter is another chance to win. So if you hear this throughout the week, we're going to be doing this on the show and on several of the shows on 93.7 The Ticket. One lucky listener will take home $1,000 tomorrow around noon. Don't wait. Get that keyword in now. Once again, game, G-A-M-E, to 508-777-1000. And best of your luck on winning $1,000. That can always be good. Also wanted to remind people of the EV Ride and Drive that is happening this Sunday, and you're invited. Join Lincoln Electric System on September 28th from 9 to 1 at the LES Operations Center, 9445 Rokeby Road, to test drive electric vehicles and talk with local EV owners and dealers. The event is free, fun, and full of discovery. Whether you're ready to make the switch to an EV or just want to learn more, this event is for you. Visit les.com Michigan.com/drive for details. One of my buddies just got a nice electronic truck. Looks fantastic. So definitely looking forward and interested in that into the future. But like you said, Terrell, we've got a lot of game to break down.
All right, Bock. Let's get ready to go, Bock. All right, over the weekend, Bock. Michigan versus Nebraska, 30-27. Bock, I told you when we did the pregame, I said 31-21, but it didn't have to go like that. I'll let you go first, Bock.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall, you step away, you look at this game. There's a lot of missed opportunities for Nebraska. You mentioned in the opening some missed tackles. I think the key to this game, and of course, there's all sorts of different ways to go from the Hail Mary to not kicking field goals to the big runs and all that. But I think what really hurt Nebraska in this game was the long touchdown drive in the fourth quarter. Michigan, I mean, Nebraska had maybe 3 or 4 chances on open field tackles on third downs to get Michigan off the field and get an opportunity to go down and hit a field goal and tie or take the lead. We're not able to get off the field. That put them down 10 points. Of course, Nebraska was able to score quickly and then have the chance for the onside kick, but by then it was too little too late. So to me, that's what ultimately hurt Nebraska in this game. But as Coach Rule pointed out today at his press conference, there are, in a 3-point game, there's always going to be things you can point to here and there and throughout the game that could have won it or lost it for Nebraska. He did not like the idea that they were close because he wanted to point out several plays. I think they counted up to 40 of them where they could have done a lot better. And he said that at his press conference. So it's kind of interesting to walk away from this game. It's intriguing too. Michigan had some opportunities that they could have had. A lot of the Michigan response to this is that Michigan should have won by more. They're happy with the win, but they should have won by more. And you could see that argument too. I mean, from what I came away from it is that Michigan looked like a top 25 team, a program that had been in these positions before that can get there. Now, for what it's worth, I don't think they look like a top 15 team. I don't think they look like a top 10 team. So keep that in mind. But I do think they look like a top 25 team, a program that's been in these positions before and kind of knew how to iron it out and win the game. And they won because of what they've built on their program. Nebraska, unfortunately, looked a lot like it has in all these Chasing 3 documentaries that we've kind of been going. You end up losing by 3, again, with a lot of questions about how you could have done better. And Terrell, I'll send it over to you here after this, but obviously you mentioned it from the beginning. There are some serious concerns coming out of this game, not just Nebraska, Michigan, but moving forward for Nebraska specifically, pass protection, the offensive tackles, obviously. The run game wasn't all that good. I don't know if that's an overwhelming concern, but I think that was a big one. And then obviously giving up the amount of runs and specifically the long plays that Nebraska gave up to Michigan in this game. Their run defense does not look stout. So pass protection, run defense certainly look to be like some concerns coming out of this game if you're a Cornhusker fan.
Yeah, Bock. What fans need to understand, Michigan made a lot of mistakes too. You can count Michigan mistakes on our hand. The same as Nebraska mistakes. Michigan dropped the ball in the end zone. Should have been a touchdown. Michigan did a halfback pass. Should have been a touchdown. We say Nebraska should have punted on. They should have kicked the field goal on first series. I agree with that part. But what I don't agree with is these guys coming into year 3 and still not being able to tackle, still not able to take the right angles. Safety dead up the middle, Bob. Should have popped the guy. Yeah. You come up and you run on his hip like you want to do a dance or something. This is not rodeo dances. This is football. Kids need to learn how to tackle. Should have been learn how to tackle. Things you see, Bock, that Nebraska legitimately had a chance for this game, but Michigan should have pushed it a little wider open, right before halftime. We see that play. We always taught to knock the ball down instead of trying to knock it up. Good play by Ja'Cory Barnett, by the way.
Absolutely, yeah.
Nebraska had no running game whatsoever. Took them out the game early. They wanted Dillon to beat them. They wanted Dillon to use his feet, which he can't or doesn't know how to yet. So they put you in a position where your only thing you could do is pass, and they sit right there in zone, toughen up on the short yardage, Bock. Defensive-wise, we didn't have a clue what we was doing out there, I think, Bock. I don't have to pass on you when I can take 3 guys and run for 302 yards, Bach, on 33 carries, 286 after some losses. But when you look at Justin Hayes, man, 17 carries, Bach, 153 yards, 8.8 yard a carry. Jordan Marshall, 6 carries, 80 yards, 13.3 yards a carry. Bryce Underwood, 8 carries, 69 yards, 7.6 a carry. All 3 of these guys had long run touchdowns, Bach, that should have been stopped after about 10 yards. And that's the player's fault? Yes, it is, Bach. We got to learn to stop blaming these coaches. We got to learn to stop blaming coaches. You can't blame the coach for the missed field goal. You can't blame the coach for the missed tackles. It's certain things that these guys need to wake up and learn that they're professionals now because they get paid. Yes, you're a college athlete who get paid. That makes you're an employee of the University of Nebraska. So we missed things we shouldn't have missed, Bach. I wouldn't call it, some of it was bad coaching, but most of it was bad playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it just did come down to execution. Again, you have guys in the spots for that long drive I was talking about. You have guys in the spot, the breakout runs that you're talking about, safeties just kind of taking wrong angles and not getting, in the open field. And that's what Michigan's going to do. Michigan's going to do this a lot of teams. Not to belittle it on Nebraska's end, but that's the type of athlete that they have. And so, if you allow HBC, if you take a bad angle on an Akron player, he might get 10, 15 more yards. Heck, we saw it against against Houston Christian. They ran it off for like 50 yards if you don't swarm to the ball. But specifically Michigan, they have the athletes, and Justice Hayes has already been doing this to everybody that they've played, is he's breaking away these 75-yard runs. And so, like you said, and specifically, just not played very well. But you've got to be close to perfect. That's the pressure that they're going to put on you, is play after play when they run the ball. 31 times throughout the game. If you're in the right spot 26, so be it. But if you're in the wrong spot 1, Justice Haynes can house call you. And of course, they did that in several spots. The worst one to me was Bryce Underwood. I don't know how we talked about it all week. It was the biggest, kind of like focal point of going into the Michigan game from any Nebraska fan or website or pundit or whatever was, okay, we're kind of worried about Bryce Underwood being able to run the ball a little bit. And he didn't really hurt Nebraska in that he didn't run the ball all that much. 8 carries total for 61 yards, but it's that 37-yard where no one was even close to him. And you just wonder how in the world the middle of the field can open up like that. And you could see it at certain times, just like safeties or cornerbacks or linebackers being suckered in or kind of being thrown off by some of the motion or the action that they were having on one side of the field and being suckered into it. So, I would say, there's a level of fault for both, but to your point, more often than not, there's players there and they just miss some of the tackles or just the wrong angles.
Yeah, this is not a great Michigan football team, Bob. This is not a team that's going to make it to the playoff. It's not. It's a team that Nebraska should have beat. Probably the same amount of athletes, probably a better coach team, more better in the trenches on both sides. But when it comes down to football, this is a top 18 to 30 team, Bob, we're talking about right here. And this is not a 1 through 10 or a 1 through 12. This is not a Indiana.
Yeah,
it's not.
I don't think
so. We're going to talk about Indiana later.
Yeah.
This is not Ohio State. This is not,
Oregon,
Penn State. This is a middle of the pack team, I think, from the Big Ten that Nebraska should have beat. When I say that, because plenty of things that went good our way, plenty of things went good their way. This was just an even football game against 2 even teams that happened that we did the same thing we did over the years. We hurt ourselves at the end of the games, blocking wise, tackling wise. Just special teams was okay, but it could. I think just that field goal that missed, that field goal block. No, the field goal that was missed. And then not kicking the field goal at the beginning of the game kind of spooked me from the beginning. I was like, okay, here we go. You get the points that's left out there, Bob. You have to get them.
Yeah, and that's been a big argument all along. I'm not too. I mean, I'm usually a take the field goal guy, especially in this region of the country. Just to be honest, because the weather can get kind of tough and make some of these games ugly. You might win 20-13 or 13-10 or something like that, and so points become at a premium. In this case, I don't think it hurt Nebraska all that much. Yeah, they could have taken a 3-0 lead and then reset things, and it would have helped. Don't get me wrong, because in the end, it was Michigan who struck first, but by not going for it the first time, that allowed them to get in the field position to go get the field goal the second time, because the defense went out there and they gave them 95 yards that they would have to drive to score. Nebraska's defense did well, and so Nebraska got the ball back. I don't think not going for that field goal hurt them equally or near as much as, I guess, it was equal to the fact that they got another opportunity. They missed the field goal. Now, you don't want to put that much on Kyle Cunanan because he's been good and solid throughout the year. But that was one that obviously with a 3-point loss ultimately hurt them. But I'm not too upset by not going for the field goal at first. You're kind of an underdog, a big atmosphere. You were rolling as far as moving the ball downfield, especially as opposed to what it would look like the rest of the game. And so they wanted this to kind of strike while the iron's hot. So I didn't mind going for the field goal. I don't think it hurt them because they got another opportunity to go after it. But I can see the argument that it did, because ultimately they did not get those 3 points.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, man. You never see a kid. He missed a 44-yarder. He came back and kicked the 39-yarder. Came back and kicked the 38-yarder, which was good. So, I don't know how they missed that one. Probably really wasn't paying attention, Bock, like I should. I just looked up and I didn't see how he missed it, but it looked like it was wide left a little bit when he kicked it.
Yeah. I can't remember, which way it went, but obviously it didn't go in. And again, you got to be able to convert on those opportunities. Nebraska's red zone offense just has not been good this year, and they got to figure out a way to kind of work that out. Now, we do have a question off the text line, because as you were kind of pointing out defensively, maybe you feel like it's more player than coach. Offensive line, I mean, that's the big question. Is that a coaching issue? Is that a talent issue? What do you think Nebraska was overwhelmed. Dylan Raiola somehow finished with 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns, but he was sacked 7 times and pressured just about every time.
All right, Bock, we'll talk about this part when we come back on Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. More Nebraska versus Michigan talk offense when we come back.
At CHI Health Clinic, we believe healthcare should be personal, because knowing your provider personally makes appointments more comfortable, more productive, and more meaningful to your overall health. Get matched with a primary care provider based on your personality and lifestyle using CHI Health Clinic's My Provider Match. Take the survey at myprovidermatch.com to find the right provider for you. Getting healthier starts by getting personal at CHI Health Clinic.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Football game days are fun for the whole family, but not every child is ready for 4 quarters in the stadium. That's why the Lincoln Children's Museum offers game day play dates for kids ages 5 to 12. While you enjoy the game, your kids enjoy their own adventure at the museum, conveniently located just steps from the stadium. Registration required. And the fun isn't just on game days. The museum is open 6 days a week with 3 floors of hands-on play and activities. Out-of-town families, make the most of your weekend in Lincoln. Visit LincolnChildren'sMuseum.org.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Showers and storms possible late. Otherwise, partly sunny skies with a high near 86. Tonight, showers and storms likely with a low around 64. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high around 70. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is your year where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Midwest Bank is proud to serve Nebraska communities for over 70 years. We're a community bank making local decisions, supporting community organizations, and helping businesses succeed with 10 locations throughout the state, from Wisner to Deschler, Norfolk to York, and right here in Lincoln too. Whether you're opening a checking account, buying your first home, in need of an ag loan, or in search of cash management services for your business, we're here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. Bock the Blackshirt right here. All right, Bock, let's break down the offense, man. Let's break it down. All right, rushing, Emmett Johnson, 19 for 67 yards. 3-point yards a carry, long 14. Makai Nelson, 3 carries, 9 yards. Ja'Cory Barney, 1 carry, 7 yards. Isaiah Mose, 1 carry, 1 yard. Bock, when we talk about this offense in the rushing game, Nebraska needs to find a number 2 back. We don't have a number 2 back. We got guys that's listed as number 2, Bock, and number 3, but we don't have a number 2 back. We don't have a guy we can depend on if Emmett leads the game. I see that now. You go from, what's the kid's name?
Dante Dowdell.
No. From the bowl game last year. Quinn Knives.
Yeah.
Quinn Knives has 15 rushes last week, Bock. Come back, no rush this game, Bock. You give Makai Nelson the ball, 3. He's a little guy. I mean, yeah, he got 3 carries on night. He got 3 for 19. Yeah, 6.3 yards a carry. He's a little guy. Poor Emmett. I seen that hit, Bock.
Oh,
I seen it up close.
Oh, the one where he's lobbed out in the.
Yes.
Yeah.
Emmett took a beating.
Yes, he did.
That was one of the best hits I've seen live, Bock, when I say watching football. One of the best hits. They was on Emmett so much, and on the whole rushing attack. 31 rushes, 94 yards. Dillon had 49 yards net loss for sacks. When you talk about Dillon in the passing game, 30 for 41, one touchdown, 1 interception, 3 touchdowns, 7 sacks. Dillon has to get the ball released faster. He has to learn how to roll away from trouble, Bob. He has to learn how to roll out of that pocket. We don't ask you to do anything special. We just want you to do something to keep from losing positive yards. The thing with that is offensive line. I can't go. This offensive line, I tell you what, man. The thing about this offensive line, they're big, Bock, but they're not athletic like most offensive linemen. They can't extend their body movement too much longer. I mean, they can block a little bit, but when it's time to move around and block, and when you have like shifty defensive ends, it does no good for us because we gave up 7 sacks. Receiver-wise, Bock, Lindenmeyer and Ja'Cory Barney, the only 2. I mean, Dan Key disappeared. Isaiah Hunter disappeared. Wasn't a factor in these games. When you look at Dan Key, 3 catches, 36 yards. Isaiah Hunter, 2 catches, 34 yards. Even Luke Lindenmeyer, 7 catches, 60 yards. Ja'Cory Barney, 6 catches, 120 yards. Emmett Johnson, 5 catches, 33 yards, 36 yards. I don't know, Bock. It's just one of those things. It was offense is no better than defense when we hop back to that side and talk about defense, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, it was a tough game offensively for Nebraska. Still able to get 27 points on the board. A lot of times, that's more than Nebraska's offenses have averaged over the last couple of years, and that's against a pretty good Michigan defense. Now, again, the way you want to break it down, they're all different types of ways to kind of look at it. Should Nebraska have maybe scored 34 if Isaiah Hunter didn't, step out of bounds and come back in the end zone? Should they have maybe only scored 20 if, that Hail Mary is, literally a prayer? My wife's kind of new to football. I was trying to tell her where the Hail Mary idea came from. So a lot of different ways to break it down, but ultimately, I think this might have been Dillon's best or one of his best games as a Husker, throwing for 300 yards. Didn't do that all of last season. 3 touchdowns here. Obviously, an interesting way to kind of break it down because he was sacked several times and he was pressured when he wasn't sacked. So, I don't know. It's tough. I do think there are a few plays in there where maybe you can go back and say, well, he could have extended the play or try to throw it down here or there. But I think this was more of an offensive line problem than a Dillon problem. Dillon's going to be limited just because of who he is, right? I thought there was a pretty good comparison from CBS, you talk about all the Patrick Mahomes comparison. They said, I think it probably would be a better comparison play style to Matthew Stafford. And I think that is probably a little bit more fair, especially in the mobility side of it. Though Patrick Mahomes not the best or most fleet of foot, he could definitely make things happen. But though Dylan Riley looks like Patrick Mahomes or tries to, he does not have that ability to him. So, I think you're always going to need an offensive line to protect your pass first quarterback, and pass first by a long margin, a pro style quarterback. So I thought that he had a pretty good game, all things considered. The running game was difficult. Like you said, if you take out those sacks, Nebraska almost 100 yards, not what you're looking for, not the worst thing in the world, no consistency necessarily in it. And like you said, I feel for Emmett Johnson. This was a game where you might needed a little bit bigger of a back. Now, he got the ball 24 times, to your point, 19 carries and then 5 receptions. So I thought it was a good, as far as game planning, that's about the touches that I would give him. But it was pretty evident early on that he was going to get shellacked. And he did get shellacked often throughout this game. And so, I think there's going to be more often than not, Emmett Johnson's a fine, great back. As your number one back is going to be able to get that done. But especially you talked about earlier, you don't have depth. You don't have at least any trust in the guys behind him. And he's just not very, very big. So unless your offensive line is opening up holes, it's going to be hard to get that going. And so this was a game I think they did miss Dante Dowdell. Now, I argued for all of last season that Emmett was better, and I think he is in most cases. But a game like this, a power back that can get a few extra yards, maybe would have helped out a little bit. And then to the wide receiver category, again, Barney, fantastic on the Hail Mary, great on that, kind of up the seam route that he did earlier to get his 2 touchdowns here. Really, again, you go back to that, and Isaiah Hunter just got to know where you're at on the field. The Michigan guy slipped. He was wide open for the touchdown, had to go in and out of bounds. So that's not great, obviously. But I think in totality, I think we could all agree the biggest problem here is the offensive line, pass protection, and Nebraska got exposed. And unfortunately, there are a few teams left on the schedule that are going to be able to try to take advantage of that. And how much can Nebraska do to alter that? I think Rick Newhouse made a great point. Listen to him post game is that, maybe Nebraska should have kept some tight ends more to help out. Obviously, that's going to hurt your, options downfield and take away a lot of your playbook. But it was a mismatch. It was a disadvantage. It was a problem. And I don't know if it was ever addressed properly or well enough. Obviously, you end up losing by 3. So you're within a puncher's, you're fighting there. But that's the problem. And that's going to be a problem. That's not something that I'm interested actually in your thoughts on this, because we've talked about it all year long. Okay, Gatula might make less mistakes, but does he have the upside of Pritchett? They hope that putting Pritchett in, maybe he's got the athleticism to keep up with those guys. Is that still a hope you hold out for, or do you think Nebraska's tackles are kind of who they are and the team's going to have to adjust and game plan accordingly?
They're going to have to game plan accordingly. I think that, when you see Teddy Pahasa, same thing over on the other side. You got guys who have big bodies, but when it comes to game time play, you look great the last 2 weeks. Okay, given the opponents we played.
Yeah,
Houston Christian of the Blind, Akron. You give the benefit of the doubt to them, because now you go up against a Michigan team, which, by the way, they got a great defensive line to me. They blitzing packages is one of the best I've seen. But, Gatula gives up 3 sacks. Pritchett gives up 1. Teddy gives up 1. These are against guys who are smaller body guys, Bock, than these guys in these big house names. When you see the guys that they're smaller guys, probably more like defensive ends, more like outside linebackers that you could put it at. But I'm just mind boggled about just the sack wise.
Yeah. It was a feast up front for me.
Yeah, it was a feast. And I felt sorry for Dylan because he couldn't roll out anywhere. Even if he tried to roll out, he still was sacked. Even if he tried to get out of it, they still was in his face too fast, most of the time. What it was, 45 plays, pass plays, attempts or something. 36
41,
to 41, 36 times they was in his face. 36 out of 40 something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. And again, it's I think that more so than the fact that Nebraska lost this game might be why people are frustrated, is because it does show Nebraska has some holes. Now, you don't have to be a complete team to be a good team. But to have that obvious of a flaw, against some of the better opponents is going to be tough to try to manage around. Hopefully they take this bye week, try to get a little bit better. But again, I think it's always been kind of that case is do you have NFL tackles? Because you basically need some NFL tackles to go against the Michigans and the Penn States and the Ohio States and the Oregons of the world. And Nebraska obviously does not have that at this point. Shouldn't be something overwhelming in every game, but in a few of those matchups, it's going to be tough.
93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Black Shirt. Be right back.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Renza sales on September 23rd will benefit your local Teammates Mentoring chapter. Teammates Mentoring helps students reach their full potential by providing a caring adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Runza on September 23rd.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
M-Suits Clothiers, Lincoln's favorite men's store, is ready for the fall season. Stop by today to see the newest arrivals in casual and sportswear from Johnny O, Seven Diamonds, Mavi, Task, Luciano Visconti, Scott Barber, and many more. M-Suits Clothiers, 1 block south of 56th and Pine Lake Road.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. If I can have today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in 1 weekend, and it's the playoffs?
God damn right.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you tired of living in pain? At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, they make it simple. From head to toe, spine to extremities, they've got you covered. Their multi-specialty team of experts in orthopedic surgery, plastic surgery, podiatry, physical therapy, and occupational therapy all work under one roof to get you back to living life pain-free. Don't wait another day. Visit prairie-ortho.com today or call them at 402-489-4700. Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins.
Make your next event unforgettable with Grazing Gouda, your local artists and experts in charcuterie and grazed tables. From boardrooms to ballrooms, they turn gatherings into experiences with stunning spreads of artesian cheeses, cured meats, fresh fruits, and gourmet bites. Perfect for corporate luncheons, weddings, parties, or any celebration that deserves a wow moment. They handle the details. You take the compliments. Book your graze table today at GrazingGouda.com. Grazing Gouda, because every event deserves to be savored.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale.
we're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes! Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Renza sales on September 23rd will benefit your local Teammates Mentoring chapter. Teammates Mentoring helps students reach their full potential by providing a caring adult mentor to meet with them once a week in school. Thank you for your support of Teammates Mentoring. We will see you at Runza on September 23rd.
Follow the Huskers to the City of Angels when Nebraska plays at UCLA in November. Book your official Nebraska alumni travel package at HuskerFanTravel.com. Choose from 2 or 3 night options that include a hotel in scenic Santa Monica, an exclusive welcome event, game day transportation, and the official Husker Huddle pregame party. Add on your game tickets for an optional upgrade. Transportation to and from LA is not included. Join the official Nebraska alumni trip to see the Huskers play at UCLA. Spots are limited, so book your trip now at HuskerFanTravel.com.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. Bock the Blackshirt here at your 1 to 3 hour. We are powered
by
Bauer
Infrastructure,
Bauer
Underground,
Barrett Excavating. All right, y'all, let's turn to the defensive side of the ball, Bock, when we talk about defense. Michigan ran, let's see. Michigan ran for 286 yards, Bock on 33 carries, 8.7 yards a carry, led by Justice Hayes, 17 for 153, Jordan Marshall, 6 for 80, Bryce Underwood, 8 for 69, Bryce Underwood passing, 12 for 22, 105 yards. Really didn't need the passing game, Bock. Really short, immediate passes for him. We didn't see anything long, some little tight end delays. When you look at this Michigan offense, I can say it's a great running team. Overall, when I have to grade them, Bob, probably a B- if I have to grade them overall as a unit on offense. Probably B- to a C+. Not really a passing game. So when you get into those games where you don't rush, they might be in a bad situation.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, we'll see. Again, like you said, I mean, they weren't necessarily in a position that they needed to pass. If they had to, could they have, thrown for 200 yards, something like that? Maybe, possibly. So we'll see. I mean, Nebraska's pass defense still up there among the nation's best. This was obviously a high for the year, giving up 105 yards. So shout out to Nebraska's pass defense for still keeping that going. But Michigan didn't, that's not their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is to run the ball. And they did that with great success in this game. Obviously won the battle up front and consistently, and then in those big plays to really hurt Nebraska and throw those kind of knockout punches. So, if you're Nebraska's defense now, giving up 200 yards to Cincinnati on the ground, you've got 300 yards or close to it to Michigan on the ground. It's a clear problem. You've played 4 games. That's 2 games where against the Power 4 opponents, the only 2 games against them, I mean, you're just averaging giving up almost 250 yards of ground on the run. So, some of that, the quarterback run, that was a big talk about the Cincinnati game, though their running back had moderate success. Michigan's running backs obviously had great success with those big runs, the quarterback being part of it. But too, as we look at the future of the Big Ten schedule, we were kind of talking about this earlier off air. The Malik Washingtons of the world out there at Maryland, Aiden Childs with Michigan State. Nebraska's next couple opponents have some wheels to them, and these offenses have been tough for Nebraska to stop. So they've got to figure out a way, whether it's clogging the holes or just the angles that they're taking, finishing tackles. It's funny because of all these problems, and Nebraska could have won this game, and they'd still have all these problems, and we'd still kind of break it down and think about it. But with all these problems that happened in the game, it was just open field tackling in that final big long touchdown drive that ate up all that time there in the fourth quarter for Michigan that consistently hurt Nebraska. And I don't know if that's been a problem over the years. Certainly it can be. There's certain times you can point out where they brought in tackling specialists under previous regimes. But I mean, this was the biggest case in my mind that I can remember as of late, is just missing so many open field tackles, poor angles, being sucked into different action from a play that then they're running the opposite way for 37-yard touchdown or whatever it might be. That seemed to be a big problem. So they've got to figure out. And I'll ask you the same question, Terrell, that I asked you about the offensive line. Is it a talent thing? I mean, can Nebraska get better, or are they just going to have to kind of scheme around the fact that they don't have maybe the bodies or the athleticism, whatever it might be, up front to consistently stop the run?
What you talking about, defensive-wise?
Defensively, yeah.
I don't think we have. I just don't think the 3-3-5 is a good. Not with enough talented guys, you're not be able to run this defense at a high level. I mean, it's just not. Your size-wise, you're not good. I think we went backwards a little bit, and linebacker play wasn't great. I mean, if you look at linebacker play overall, the defense just didn't play like they should have played. I mean, this is probably I haven't seen a spoken leader on this defense this year. Like, when things get bad like it did Saturday, what guy should have turned around and had this defense back? What guy should have said, hey, let's get this stuff together, fellas. Hey, let's do this. I don't think there's a guy on this defense that does that. I mean, you could say that, well, who's the guy? Deshaun Singleton. But, you can say Marquise Buford. He gets snatched out of the game. He's a senior. He's a leader. Still, you need guys on there that can still learn to be vocal in a tight situation like this, because without no leadership on a defense box, it looks like they just out there.
Yeah, it is interesting to kind of break that down. Of course, Malcolm Hartzog didn't play in this game. You'd say, will that make the difference? Well, he certainly made the difference in the Cincinnati game with that play. So maybe could have kind of been something there. But obviously, you can only play with who's healthy out there. And so, I do. I mean, I kind of think so, too. When you look at it, it's partially the way it's built. And I don't look at 3-3-5 so much because there's different formations. You just got to execute whatever formation you're in. Sometimes they've got four guys up front. Obviously, with that jack linebacker can kind of change things up there. But it was kind of the concern all offseason, right? Without Ty and Nash, how's this defense going to hold up? Now, to Elijah Judy's credit, coming in there and causing that strip on a running play was huge. I mean, that was a big turning point for Nebraska to help stay in the game. So there were points again where they did well, but for the most part, it was a lot of missed tackles, like you said.
He was down.
Oh, he was down, is what you said. Okay, yeah. I don't think he was down.
It looked it could have went that way.
I did want to ask you. I know this is completely off from what we were talking about, but when the Hail Mary happened, what was the electricity in the building? Because that was one moment where I said, "Man, I wish I would have gone."
Actually, I was headed to the players lounge.
Oh, okay,
I was headed there, and everything. I look back, darn it, but
darn it.
Yeah, I think that saved Nebraska. I really think that was a good point for them to have them points, because without those points, Bock, Michigan comes out and scores, and it's what, 27 to 13. If you look at it, 27 to 10. If Nebraska doesn't score on that Hail Mary.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, and that was just one of those things where it's like, not everything was going right, not everything was looking great for Nebraska. Those final 2 minutes were just wild scores, left and right and left and again. But it was just, it felt at that time for me at halftime, I was like, it just feels like the football gods are on our side. We never get these sort of things to kind of work for us. Maybe we are going to break through and win this game. But of course, the second half execution was not good on the offensive end. I don't know. Go back and look at the drive summary. Their third quarter, I don't know if they had 10 yards. I mean, it was pretty rough.
Yeah, that was crazy. For us, 7773 says smart opponents knowing Riola isn't mobile, so they're going to shorten the time he has to throw. The sad thing is we weren't able to rattle their true freshman quarterback with pressure. Smart teams target freshman quarterbacks to confuse and force them into mistakes. We don't or can't make other teams uncomfortable. That's the problem. Yeah, I think I didn't see him get spooked at one time in the game. I think that's a good thing for Michigan because he's a very composed quarterback. He's a great athlete, man. He reminds me a lot of Cam Newton as a freshman. So he's going to make big headlines when he get older in college.
Yeah, that's the plan. And I think Son McCullough was the one that was at least pressuring him to a degree and did get a sack back there. So that was one thing that looked good. I thought if you're kind of taking away some of the good things there, Son McCullough's pass rushing skills certainly on display, and we'll see what kind of pop he can bring because he left some pop. But to your point earlier about Deshaun Singleton, he's usually the guy doing the popping. He's a hard hitting safety we've seen throughout his career, and he got popped a few times just going after the play. So it was definitely a step up in competition. I think that's without a doubt. And in the athletes that Michigan had, it's not like a roster. I don't think that necessarily overwhelmed Nebraska in totality, but it certainly did up front.
Yeah, it did. Bill said at the start of the season, I don't think anybody, including me, thought the Huskers would beat Michigan this year. I still believe that Matt Rule has us going in the right direction. Yeah, I say it like this. Bo Vanilla can win 3 games. Bo can win 9.
Yeah.
Matt has to do something very special than what Bo did, just win 9 games every year. So 93.7 the ticket, Bock the Blackshirt. We'll be right back.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks. Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Oh, Kansas.
Here we go. If I could have today.
You just don't stop giving, do you?
Green flag, we're underway.
The closest finish in NASCAR Cup Series history. Close to downtown, amazing campgrounds. 3 NASCAR races in one weekend, and it's the playoffs.
You guys can't drive.
Now you're just showing off. But we're not mad. In fact, we're looking forward to it. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets now at kansasspeedway.com.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Some showers and storms possible late. Otherwise, partly sunny skies with a high near 86. Tonight, showers and storms likely, a low around 64. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high around 70. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
93.7 The Ticket. Bock the Blackshirt here from your 1 to 3 hour. Last week was a disappointing heartbreak loss to Michigan. 2 weeks from now, we have Michigan State back in here, who played USC pretty good, Bob, from the way it looks like.
Yeah, not too bad. Obviously, they would have liked to come out with a win, but not a bad deal. USC looks to be a pretty good team, but they had some troubles there in the secondary once again. So we'll see. Aiden Childs, of course, has some legs to him, and they're growing their confidence. They, of course, early in the season beat Boston College, a team Nebraska beat in the Pinstripe Bowl. They outlasted them in overtime, so they should be a pretty good challenge for Nebraska. Both teams have a bye week going on, and we know now that it will be a 3 p.m. kickoff for Michigan State. Again, not this Saturday, but the Saturday afterwards on FS1. Pretty good chance for Nebraska to bounce back. I think they'll be favored in that game, but certainly a game of interest for Nebraska fans and for Sparty fans as they feel like they hopefully are taking that next step under Jonathan Smith. Of course, Nebraska's hoping for that next step under Matt Rule. Matt Rule in year 3, Jonathan Smith in year 2. Will be a good game, but it's kind of interesting, too, because if Nebraska had beaten Michigan, all these games afterwards, the that Nebraska has in the next couple of weeks would have been, top 25 games the nation was kind of interested in looking at. Now I think Nebraska a little bit phased to the back and is going to have to do their business, get their business done with a whole lot of national fanfare, which many would say that's the way that they want it. So hopefully Nebraska is able to get that done. Obviously, locally, we're going to be on top of it one way or the other.
All right, Bob, when we look at the power rankings this week for the Big Ten, Nebraska steady stays at number 7. Oregon's number 1. Penn State's number 2, just slightly. Indiana moves up to number 3. USC number 4, Penn State 5, Michigan 6, Nebraska 7, Washington 8, Iowa 9, Illinois is 10, Maryland is 11.
It's interesting, again, the disrespect from that poll to Penn State. I don't completely disagree with it. Some of those other teams may have looked better early on in the season, particularly Indiana, who spanked Illinois over the weekend. But we'll see this weekend. I mean, this is it's a good bye week for Nebraska because there's a lot of good college football going on, but specifically Oregon at Penn State. So we'll see who's real and who's going to be battle for the top of the Big Ten. That game might have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the great ones. If I had to lean towards anybody right now, it probably would be Oregon in this game, Buck. But when we look at the top 25, Ohio State's number 1. Miami jumps to number 2 in the AP poll. Penn State is 3. LSU is 4. Georgia 5. Oregon 6. Oklahoma 7. Florida State is 8. A&M is 9. Texas is 10. Indiana moves up 8 places to number 11. Texas Tech with a good win this weekend moves up to 12. Ole Miss 13. Iowa State drops 2, even though they didn't play anybody. They dropped down to 14. Tennessee 15. Georgia Tech 16. Alabama 17. Vanderbilt moves up to 18. Michigan moves up 2 to 20 to 19. Missouri 20. Southern Cal is 21. Notre Dame is 22. 1-2, 22. And Illinois drops all the way down to 23. TCU 24. BYU 25.
You surprised to see Illinois still ranked? I mean, it was a top 20 showdown, but a 63-10 loss.
Yeah, I mean, they're right at the right place they're supposed to be at. Probably dropped to 24, 25, 23. Man, I tell you what, man, Kurt Signetti pulled one over our eyes again, didn't he, Buck? We didn't hear not a word from him all summer. We said that could be scary, that could be good, that could be bad. Guess what, Buck? It's bad now. It's bad and scary.
It is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
Indiana, as we know, and I said this going into last week, I picked Indiana to win. I didn't think it was going to be 63-10. I said, based on last year's experience, that might be a tough place to go down there and win. And it is proving to be. I mean, they are this was an absolute shellacking here. Remember, they started the year, we all kind of criticized their scheduling and kind of struggled with Old Dominion a little bit, but didn't really schedule anybody. And then out of the gate, they just pummeled Illinois. They got an interesting game at Iowa, who just scored 38 points, by the way, against Rutgers for a very entertaining Friday night game.
Yeah.
You did get that one. But then they've got Oregon after that. So we'll see. Indiana definitely feels like a real top 10 team. And it's kind of funny, too, because I mentioned this, too, with Carricker. All offseason, all anybody want to talk about is who's this year's Indiana. And I don't think I heard anybody really say, well, maybe it's Indiana again. And they appear to be, one of those teams that you might not have expected and make the playoffs. Maybe last year's run, what you thought might just be a one-year thing. Based on that game on Saturday, they are here to stay.
Yeah, they are. That's one of the things you have to wonder. What are we doing wrong, and what are they doing right? Questions. You have to ask Kurt Signetti, what's the blueprint to what are you doing to a school that you're what 12-2 now in 2 years, made it to the playoffs your first year, doesn't have a budget like Nebraska, doesn't have the players like Nebraska, but can go out there and win the big games and coach a less talented team to better victories.
Yeah, I mean, he's putting pressure on just about every coach out there. Every coach is going to be compared to, why can't you do what Kurt Signetti did or is doing? And that's It's a tough, that's tough to ask. There's only one guy doing that, and Kurt Signetti. Most hires obviously aren't working out. I mean, you look, I didn't mean this to be a look around the Big Ten schedule, but I mean, look at Luke Fickell right now. He's in absolute trouble at Wisconsin as they cannot keep a quarterback healthy, and they got pummeled by Maryland again, who will be Nebraska's opponent after Michigan State. So somebody to kind of keep a close eye on. But there certainly has been, some coaches that maybe have done better than Matt Rule, some coaches that have done worse than Matt Rule, but nobody's living up to Kurt Signetti, and everybody across the country is saying, why can't you do what Signetti's doing? So it's incredible. You talk about the most losing football programs in the history of college football, to turn that around. And then, as you kind of look at it moving forward, surprised he didn't leave Bloomington. Of course, they gave him a big contract after last year. He's got to be on the top of just about every coaching search, and whoever those big names will be this offseason. I don't expect him to leave Indiana for a middling job like a UCLA or something like that. I mean, if he leaves, I think it's going to be a pretty big time offer. It's going to have to get him out of there.
Probably that Alabama offer.
We'll see what happens with Bama.
Yeah, we'll have to see. All right, Bock, go ahead.
We do have some Matt Rule. We can get to some Matt Rule today.
So let's go over the game. We'll listen to Matt Rule second half. Let's go over the games we did this weekend so we can keep up on that part.
Okay, yes, the games have been tallied. Of course, entering today, the text line had been winning 23-10 on the year. Terrell, you were 18-15, and I was 20 and I'm trying to do my math backwards. 20-13 entering the year. You and the text line actually did well this week. 7-3 for both yourself and the text line. And text line, by the way, shout out as well. Octavius McFarland helping making some of those picks, so he did well. I went 6-4, so I don't feel as good, though. I do feel better. At least I fell down with Nebraska. You picked Michigan, so that's why you got the win over me this week.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
So on the year, the text line is now 30-13 after 7-3 showing this past week. The only incorrect picks this week for the text line was Rutgers, Illinois, and Nebraska. Terrell, your only incorrect picks along your way for 7-3 this week was Utah, who got shellacked by Texas Tech, Illinois, who, like we have been talking about, Indiana took care of pretty easily, and North Carolina. You and I think both thought that maybe Bill Belichick would get the better of Scott Frost. 34-9, Scott Frost able to beat the Tar Heels.
Scott Frost 3-0.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. It'd be sad if he has a better record than us this year.
It will be. It is obviously always going to be a connection that might be made, but who knows? Maybe if they can kind of get into a bowl contention, Nebraska can find them there. Run down some of the other games we picked just so we can go over them quickly. So Michigan State did end up losing to USC 45-31 in a late one. We talked about Illinois getting destroyed by Indiana 63-10. Florida lost to Miami, 26-7. Miami looks like the real deal this year. Florida, again, is going to be going from one top 10, top 15 team to another on their schedule. Missouri beat South Carolina 29-20. Are you surprised South Carolina, 2 losses on the season?
I knew it. They didn't have their quarterback.
Well, they did. Sellers played in the game.
Well, he didn't start, did he?
He did. He threw for like 300 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Missouri's interesting because they were obviously really good 2 years ago. Lost a few close games last year that kind of got them out of contention. They, quite frankly, have just kind of taken South Carolina's spot as the up and coming SEC team. So we'll see what happens to them. Obviously, they beat Kansas early in the season as well. Ole Miss beat Tulane 45-10. Oklahoma 24, Auburn 17. And how about this? We thought that Dylan Raiola was getting pummeled there in the backfield. Jackson Arnold and Auburn sacked 10 times against the Sooners. That's a lot. Texas Tech beat Utah 34-10. In Iowa, topped Rutgers 38-28. A kick return for a touchdown out of the gate for Iowa. A big win for the Hawkeyes. For Rutgers, it was cool. I think it was their biggest or closest to the largest crowd that they've ever had watch a Rutgers game. And I think they gave up in the student section. They were giving out TVs, like 50-inch TVs. They gave out like 20 of them to try to get the students to go there.
Go where?
To the Rutgers Iowa game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Rutgers is doing what they can to try to get more people interested. That's the first loss on the year for the Scarlet Knights, but one they would have liked to have back. A few other scores that I thought were interesting. Oregon all over Oregon all over Oregon State, 41-7. Notre Dame 56-30 over Purdue. Washington wins the Apple Cup this year, 59-24. San Diego State beat Cal 34-0. This after Cal beat Minnesota just last week. So I don't know, man. That doesn't say the best for either Cal or Minnesota. Colorado beat Wyoming 37-20 behind 300 yards and 3 touchdowns for Caden Salter, who is starting again. Arizona State and Baylor had a close one. Arizona State won on a game-winning field goal. They improved to 3-1. Baylor now 2-2. Kansas shellacked West Virginia 41-10. KU now 3-1. West Virginia under Rich Rod not going well so far, 2-2 for his return. UNLV had to storm back for a big victory, down by 17, or they scored the final 17 points of the game to win 41-28 over Miami, Ohio. They are 4-0 under new coach Dan Mullen. TCU beat SMU 35-24. Hard to figure out which conference those teams are in. I always thought, hey, that's a conference matchup. Oh wait, no, it's not. Syracuse beat Clemson 34-21. Clemson is 1-3 now. Syracuse 3-1, but did lose their starting quarterback, Steve Angeli, for the season. So not ideal there. Maryland toppled Wisconsin 27-10. Luke Fickell getting booed and calls for him to be fired from the student section there. And again, more quarterback injuries there. And then another upset this week. Memphis beat Arkansas 32-31. 4-0 Memphis at this time. The Razorbacks now 2-2. And I know you've been hoping that their head coach can kind of figure it out there, but those have been some of those games that have been plaguing him. But I want to ask you, Terrell, about Dabo. 1-3 at Clemson right now. Just not a very good team.
Yeah, just very not good team. I think Dabo's ready to leave. I think he's ready to find him a new job. I probably think they're sick of each other right about now when you say that. Just the way college football is going right now, I just don't think he's happy at Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's obviously not a situation that they've been in quite some time. He built them up to the expectations that they've had, and obviously have won the ACC last year, but haven't been necessarily national championship contenders the last couple of years. But this is kind of the wheels falling off. So they're going to need a big response and really look like they're going to have to fight it out to make a bowl game. So very surprising kind of in that way. Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy says that he's staying put as of right now. I'd seen some reports out there that he might be in trouble. Of course, they lost to Tulsa on Friday night as well. So that's another game to kind of look at and wonder. Oklahoma State is down in the dumps. And I don't know if they're going to be able to fight out of that. And then if we just kind of look ahead to next week, and we'll do our segments on this, but like I said earlier, good week for a bye week. I don't know. Terrell, you're going to have to help me narrow these games down to 10 because as of right now, I've got 12. You start out Friday night, TCU, who's now ranked number 24 at Arizona State. Sun Devils are favored by 2.5 in that one. You have number 21 USC at number 23 Illinois. USC now favored by 7.5 after that Illinois was exposed a little bit. I think an interesting one in the Big Ten, and Rutgers at Minnesota. Minnesota favored by 5.5. Cincinnati at Kansas, I think now is interesting, especially, Cincinnati, one of Nebraska's previous opponents. Kansas favored by 6.5. But then we get to some of the bigger ones. Ohio State at Washington. LSU, number 4 at number 13 Ole Miss. We'll have Auburn and A&M. We'll have number 11 Indiana at Iowa. We'll have number 15 Tennessee at Mississippi State. Mississippi State undefeated at this time. Arizona hasn't lost. They're at number 14 Iowa State. And then the big ones, number 17 Alabama at number 5 Georgia. And we talked about it earlier. Number 6 Oregon at number 3 Penn State. So I know, you might hear from some different folks. Maybe you can get some stuff done on Saturday this weekend to take advantage of the bye week. But for me, I might just sit back and watch college football.
Another couch potato time, Bock. I tell you about that, Bock. It's couch potato Saturdays. I don't move on Saturdays. I did this Saturday because we played here and I had friends in. And I walked down in the Haymarket for 2 hours Saturday night. So I won't do that again ever. So my legs are still tired.
What was that from?
Walking around the Haymarket Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Looking for Warfield. So trying to find him, and it didn't turn out great. So we didn't find him. And we just walked. 93.7 The Ticket. Bock in the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska insider today.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
.7 The Ticket, Bock the Blackshirt here at your 1 to 3 hour. All right, Bock, let's go to some Matt Rule. First question. You have it?
Yeah, I do.
Let's listen to it.
All right, this was thoughts on CBS and Dylan Royals specifically.
I just have always, I'm very hard on our players from an accountability measure. You know what I mean? Like I believe that I hold them highly accountable, because I want every player someday to say that their life is better because they played for us. And I know people might kind of roll their eyes, but that's all I want. I want them to say I had a better life because I went there. So that might be sometimes challenging them. But outside of that, I'm going to defend them to the nth. I know how hard they work. Like, even if a guy didn't play well, like, what's the point of like burying him? Like, what is the point of burying that kid? Like I want to try to build him up. I'm not talking about fans. I'm talking about, but when it comes, sometimes I think things are just so lazy. Like, he's completing 75% of his passes. He's played 2 Power 4 teams. Like, even the play with the touchdown to Jacory, like that's an elite level check. That's not somebody in the headset looking over the sidelines and them going like this. And that's Dylan playing quarterback, man. Like, so yeah, I say it to everyone every time the media comes in. I'm like, let's not do just the Mahomes thing. Now, I mean, I get the Mahomes thing, but that's just such an easy. Let's talk about the football. And I think he's playing football at a really, really, really high level. And if you look at his growth from last year to this year, like, he got hit early. He had to run around early, and yet he's one throw, and that throw's not all. I mean, it's on him. It's also on the tight end. Tight end breaks out when he's supposed to sit down. Tight end does what he's supposed to do. The ball's completed, and we don't have to throw that interception. So it's a little bit of everybody. But yeah, that doesn't bother me as much as like, I want people to see in these guys what I see in them. Right? They play their tails off, and I think Dylan's playing quarterback at a really high level right now, personally.
Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it is, I think that it's fair, especially you kind of look at it all, a little bit of context as to the interception, basically saying that wasn't completely his fault, and just kind of a miscommunication with his receiver out there. So tight end specifically. So that obviously adds to it a little bit, but it is, and he's been saying this the last couple of weeks, is on his different appearances that he's been making. Is he's kind of tiring of that comparison to Patrick Mahomes, but it is the natural one. You can kind of say it's the easy one, but it's just kind of natural, and it's quite frankly what Dylan Royal is known for nationally right now. So CBS did, of course, a big thing about it at one point during the broadcast. I think just about every broadcast will. But again, I like the way that they kind of broke it down. One of their commentators said, you know what, even though he's compared to Dylan Royal, I see more Matt Stafford in him than anything else. So, at some point you want to kind of move off that, be your own guy. But, a lot of people too came away from that game thinking he's trying to do too much, looking like Patrick Mahomes with kind of fancy throws that don't necessarily need to be. Rather than setting his feet, he's flicking his wrists and finding different angles and different ways to get the ball out. So I think that's always going to be there. I give Coach Rule credit for trying to kind of think beyond that, because he's right. I mean, once you've seen it, but it's just always going to be there.
Well, first, if you want to diffuse it, he had to cut all his hair off, Bob. You have to start over and look like somebody else. It's not our fault that what he looks like and how he prepares himself. It looks like what it is, Bach, and it is what it is. So when you talk about that part of his game, I mean, if he's probably been doing it since a kid. I know he works out with him, but Dylan needs to be Dylan. I mean, this kid has a bright future if he be himself and do the things that he can do with his own little twist. It can be the Dylan instead of the Patrick talk. So Dylan needs to worry about, just the little things he can do to get his game better. I mean, he could have thrown 2 picks, but one was dropped again. So, it's not how you play the game or start it, it's how you finish it. And I think he played better than probably anybody on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's an argument to be made. This one might have been his best game. Of course, his second 300-yard performance. The other one, though, coming against Akron, had 4 touchdowns against Akron, 3 here, just the 1 interception. But especially considering the level of pressure that was on him going into the game, and then in the game, right, from problems from the offensive line, I think this was among his best games as a Husker. So he's growing, he's getting better. You look at him now, he's on pace to break just about every single season Nebraska passing record. 11 touchdowns to 1 interception, 1,137 yards passing at this point on over 75% of his passes. He, again, completed 73% of his passes in this game. And though, there's always going to be points where you can say he could have had, an interception here and there. He could have had that touchdown against when Isaiah Hunter stepped out of bounds. So there's other ways to kind of go back on that too. So I think he played about as good as anybody, if not the best game on the Huskers, like you said, for in this game, and he's getting better. He's improving. Now just needs a little bit of help. Needed a little bit more help than he got against Michigan. So we can kind of get to some more from Matt Rule though here as we continue the conversations. Here's kind of an interesting question. As we kind of go from topic to topic, here is a question about: do you wish you would have added a back to the roster in the offseason? Interesting question. I want to hear Matt Rule's response.
I think there's a lot of things to that, right? Like, there's money. Some people paid more money than I had, so that's the reality of it. I love our backs, though. I just, I say that like, I don't mean there's like, you can probably hear a little tone in me, because like there's about 3 people who could say that question to me because they've given me money and NIL to go get players. So I'm saying like, oh, coach, I'm worried about, when people say to me, like, I'm worried about the D line. You know how much a D lineman costs nowadays to go get him in the portal? Like, all right, they're $18.90 right there. Write a check, and then you can talk to me about what you think we should do. And I say that respectfully towards our players. Like we're going to have to spend a lot of money to keep this roster together. We have a good roster. We have a good team. I think Mekhi Nelson's the starting running back in college football. I think Isaiah Mozee is going to be dynamic. He's just young. We're trying to figure him out. And I think Quentin Ives is a big physical back. But like the whole, for me, I want our players to hear, like, I'm not going to start talking about, I wish I'd have done this differently, because that belittles our own guys. But there's a component to this of, this is the first year, like, this is the first roster. This is the first year that we're at where everyone else is at. And so I think you can see how we recruit when people want to come to Nebraska. Recruits want to come to Nebraska, but we just have to have what everyone else has. And we finally do that. Troy's worked his tail off. The Pede family's worked their tail off. And then RevShare now, we have maybe not what 10 other teams have, but we have about what everyone else has. And so, yeah, I don't want to start playing I respectfully out there, I don't want to start playing the roster game, because it takes a lot of money. There's $40 million rosters in college football right now. 40. So I'm just saying.
Very interesting response from Coach Rule there. I think he did a good job of kind of covering and like you said, protecting the team, not giving a lot of external thoughts to what should be here and there. He said he liked his roster, but also just kind of letting Nebraska went after a running back. They didn't have the money to get one.
Well, he didn't want to throw himself up under the bus or his players. He knows, everybody else knows, we need a true backup. Losing Dardell last year, or even not even going in the portal to try to pursue one. Probably we dropped the ball on. Not saying that these guys are not good; they're just young. Quinn Ives is a redshirt freshman. He's a big guy, but it takes years to learn how to get that center of gravity to run real low and to still keep your composure and be big like that. Like, I mean, guys that big, he's a Lawrence Phillips type of big body guy. So, and his running style is different and unique from other big guys that we see. The other guys are still probably, when I say light in the butt, type of guys like Nelson and Mosaic. These guys are just little guys. I mean, we need that big bruiser back that can go in there, and we have no problem on third down. And this is one of the problems with the offense, Bob. You don't have a fourth, third down power running back, and that hurts us when we get into 2nd and 1, 3rd and 2, even 4th and 1. You see it where we can't get that yard because we don't have the big bodies for it.
Yeah, and it's been frustrating. That's something especially too. You talk about the interior of that offensive line needing to get that push to run up the middle. Somebody texted in earlier. I was mentioning our failures on red zone offense. They're gonna say, well, it's not even the entire red zone. It's just when you get down there. Nebraska, when they need a yard, when they need 2 yards, they don't have a go-to play. And for a lot of teams, you like historically the go-to play to be right up the middle, give it to the running back, earn those yards, show you want it more, all that sort of stuff. And they haven't been able to at this point to get that done. But it's just kind of interesting too to kind of hear Matt Rule say it, because there's some other positions that Nebraska needed to do this offseason. They did pretty well in the portal. Wide receiver was a big talk when Dane Holgerson came in. And of course, we knew it was going to be big one way or the other because Nebraska was losing some seniors at the wide receiver position. They added to that. They went to the portal to help with the defensive line. They went to the portal to help with the offensive line. And at some point, it might be kind of rank and file along with, what's attainable, who you're talking to, who you feel like you got a good connection with. Backup running back might have fallen, below the list of what they needed to or what they could do with their budget. We could say they have all this money, this and that and the other thing, but they still have a budget, like every team does, and how you use that money. So it definitely could have been interesting. Nebraska really didn't use running backs a whole lot outside of Emmett Johnson yesterday. We've seen in both the big games. So right now they don't feel like they have trust in those backup running backs.
When you say Porter, though, Bob, how many guys out of this Porter are we using on the defensive line right now? How many? Because I can tell you right now, I don't think we're losing none of them.
Well, I mean, Gabe Moore gets in there. Williams Waneri gets in there.
Yeah, but who's making the impact? No one of these guys on the portal has came in and made an impact on the defensive line.
Well, Waneri scored a touchdown.
Against who?
Well, they haven't had much of a chance so far.
Against who? Excuse me?
Houston Christian. This is his first touchdown of his career.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, they could have done more you're speaking to the choir. They could have done more on the defensive line. Could have done more on the offensive line for what we want. But again, that's easy to say from the outside. It's hard to get those guys. Everybody wants. It's like a 7-footer in the transfer portal in basketball. Everybody's giving them a call. Everybody wants offensive linemen and defensive linemen. I said it earlier. Nebraska's offensive line specifically, they struck out on several guys before they landed on, kind of the end of what was left in the offensive line transfer portal. Not to say that I wasn't happy with Pritchett and going out there and getting Rocco Spindler, but those were not the top targets. But at the same time, people would say, well, they missed on Isaiah World. Everybody missed on Isaiah World. Everybody wanted him. Everybody in the country, I'm sure, gave him a phone call just to see if he have a chance with him. Only one team can land him. Those guys are tough to get. So again, it's something that hopefully they can do better on with obviously with the portal. There's some things, some guys are shining early, some aren't living up to expectation. That's every year in recruiting, and that's every year in the portal. And so it's just kind of interesting though to hear that being brought up. While we're talking about offensive line and defensive line, of course, that was a big part of the shortcomings this week. Here was Rule talking about different looks they were given at left tackle.
I think that this whole week we're going to go back and look at those guys. I think what you find out from players is how they respond after a game like that. I've always felt at positions like corner and at tackle, where you are basically, your job is to not give up a big play. And when you have that game where like you give up a couple posts for touchdowns, or you give up a couple sacks, it's really about how you respond. And so we'll have to see how the guys respond this week. We've been rotating a lot of guys at those positions and hoping that we would solidify and crystallize by the Big Ten. And we'll have to see through this week, and then go into next week, hopefully hopefully, hey, here's our best 5 guys, and let's go to war with those 5 guys. And the rest of the guys are backups, and they'll go in as needed. So I think that those are all things we're kind of meeting on and watching right now.
Well, evaluating that, one guy a lot of people, of course, are interested in Elijah Pritchett and how his development is going. Here's Matt Rule talking about Elijah.
I've been practicing better. I just, there's a dependability and a focus level. I'm not talking about just him, I'm talking about in general on the offensive line that you need, right? And so it's just hard to be in 3rd and 3s and, go to 3rd and 8s, but I like Elijah a lot. I think he's got great physical talent. Sometimes players come to us because they have great physical talent, and they, our way of doing things, we hope, helps them play their best football. And so we're searching for that with him. But all the guys who transferred in for us, Dane Key, we good? Dane Key, those guys, we want to just make sure that they're playing their best football under us, So if you're not getting that done, you take it very personally. You try to move forward. I take those things very seriously. These aren't just names on a jersey to me. They're kids whose lives I care a great deal about.
There you hear a little bit about Coach Rule talking about Elijah Pritchett and kind of what they're going to do, reevaluating.
Well, he needs to stay off. He needs to stay on sides. Got in the game this week, did the same thing. Focus. Just focus. I mean, if I was a lineman, I just wait till the ball snap. You know what I'm saying? Don't move till the ball is snap. Don't move till the other guy moves. I mean, you're a big enough guy, you can recover. I think he needs to just focus on just staying still, and because he's a great left tackle. He just needs the little stuff. The little stuff keeps you from being on the field. And the little stuff is jumping off sides and stuff like that. Focus, mental stuff.
Yeah, especially at tackle. And in most games than not, you're not giving up 7 sacks a game. So it can be the 1 or 2, 3 plays a game. You're jumping off sides or whatever it might be. That's kind of hurting the team. Of course, that happened in the first game against Cincinnati. That little stuff is kind of been a problem for Elijah Pritchett to this point in the season.
James and Lincoln said Elijah did wait until the other guy moved, and then they called it penalty on him. I don't put it. Me neither, because I thought the guy did entice the thing. The flag did come out for the ref. I thought we said it was a defense, but who knows? 93.7 the ticket. Bock the Blackshirt. We'll be right back.
The Nebraska Lottery announces a great new lotto game for our state, Nebraska Pick 4. What's so great about it? Well, it costs just $1 to play. There's a $6,000 top prize, there are drawings every day, and you could choose from 6 different bet types. If you like Nebraska Pick 3, you're going to love Nebraska Pick 4. So stop into your favorite Nebraska Lottery retailer and play today. It's the game you've been waiting for. Straight bet top prize odds 1 in 10,000.
Big news, Nebraska. Love Omaha is now Love Nebraska. This is more than just a new name. It's a tribute to what Nebraska represents in the world of volleyball. It's still the same team with the same mission, led by players you know and love. Now backed by a new ownership group led by Jordan Larson. As Love Nebraska, they're entering an exciting new chapter, pushing for a championship title in 2026 and building new opportunities for the next generation of players across the state. They want you with them. Let's show the world how Nebraska plays volleyball. Join the movement at lovneb.com and sign up to become a Love Nebraska Insider today.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather.
Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Some showers and storms possible late. Otherwise, partly sunny skies with a high near 86. Tonight, showers and storms likely with the low around 64. And tomorrow, a continued chance of showers and thunderstorms with the high around 70. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. Visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at SartorHeyman.com.
Sartor Heyman Jewelers.
Salt Mine City is your go-to brewery in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Enjoy a full menu of great items daily for lunch and dinner, like their Big Fatty 7-ounce hamburger or a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, now open 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Bock, let's just get some little notes here. Three-time NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Aaron Donald will become the 11th Pittsburgh football player to have their number retired in school history. They will retire number 97 on November 15th. Did you see Andy Reid and Travis Kelce?
I did. A little bit of a dust-up again.
Did you see the part on Andy Reid where he threw the shoulder block?
Yeah, he did.
He threw the shoulder block. That was funny.
Yes.
That was funny right there. What else we got? Virginia Tech wants Saban if he should come out of retirement. That's also big news.
Yeah, good luck. I don't know if that's the job Saban wants to return to for. But, yeah, I mean, I think everybody should give him a call.
All right. I didn't write that one down, Bock. What else you got?
A couple of other interesting things going on today. Unfortunately, of course, the NFL was yesterday. My Cardinals dropped to the 49ers. It was a big injury game for both of them, as we are kind of seeing coming out there. Arizona lost their starting running back for the year due to an injury, but Nick Bosa also torn ACL on the 49ers side. So again, a game the 49ers ultimately won 16-15, but would be very costly for both those teams throughout the year. Also wanted to mention Bruce Pearl stepping down as Auburn's head coach after 11 seasons. Looks like his son is going to take over. Stephen Pearl is going to take over. He's got a new 5-year contract as the program's new head coach. So interesting. Bruce Pearl, 65 years old, just took the Auburn to their second ever Final Four. I know you've been close to Auburn sports for some time, kind of growing up around that. Big news. I mean, obviously, I think he was gotten a little bit of trouble at Tennessee, but really a big part of them kind of turning that program around. And now Auburn, to the point that they were consistently over the last couple of years national championship favorites or among them, didn't quite get there, but big news there for Auburn.
Oh, yeah, that's big, especially with a guy like Bruce Pearl. I mean, you know, who won the championship? Florida, wasn't it?
He never won a championship. He was
he played it. Didn't they play Florida in the championship or something like that, or in the Final Four?
Oh, they might have played in the Final Four last year, yeah.
Yeah, so big loss for Tennessee. For Auburn.
Yeah, it is. It's a big loss in the college basketball circles there on that side. Did you have any big NFL takeaways this week?
Nope, my Falcons lost. They suck. I give up.
You're giving up on the Falcons already?
I give up on a lot of things today.
Yeah, sometimes when your team loses on Saturday, it can kind of be frustrating and tough to go. It's tough to get too excited about some of your other teams going. We do have Detroit and Baltimore, Lions and Ravens tonight for Monday Night Football. The loser, of course, those are two of the favorites in their respective conferences. The loser will be 1-2 to start the year. So kind of a big opportunity there not a big opportunity, but both teams are going to want to avoid the loss. As we kind of look through yesterday's scores, I think the biggest surprise to many was the Packers getting dropped by the Browns. So that was kind of a big deal the other day. The Bengals got destroyed by the Vikings, of course, without Joe Burrow, 48-10. I thought that was interesting. The Eagles had a walk-off field goal return for touchdown. So they won the game as soon as they blocked the field goal. But one of their big defensive tackles picked it up and figured, I'm not going to get too many opportunities. He ran it all the way to the end zone. So that was big in the NFL yesterday as well. As you pointed out, the Falcons shut out 30-0 by the Panthers. The Panthers typically aren't very good, so that's not necessarily a good sign from them. The Bears destroyed the Cowboys 31-14. I think some people were surprised to see that as well. And the Chargers outlasted the Broncos. I thought those were some of the more notable games from yesterday. Commanders beat the Raiders 41-24. If you're looking for that as well, Steelers over the Patriots 21-14. There's a couple other games of note. And how about the Colts? I know Austin just came in here talking about they're 3-0 now, and Danny Jones is looking like a pretty good starting quarterback there. Maybe the guy they were looking for all along there for the Giants. They chased him out of town, and now Russell Wilson's struggling there. And now Daniel Jones maybe is kind of found something there with Indianapolis.
Yeah, my Falcons just let me down too.
They didn't score, so
yeah,
that is pretty tough for the NFL and for your team specifically. Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe Kirk Cousins will get an opportunity at some point.
No.
That's not the answer you're looking for.
That's not the answer I'm looking for right now.
Okay.
All right, 93.7 Ticket, Bock The Blackshirt. We'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, same two people.
Hi, this is Tom Osborne. Join me on September 23rd and dine at your favorite local Renza in support of Teammates Mentoring. 10% of Runza sales on September 23rd